Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me know in the chat. Welcome, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Please, if you can use the chat, it would be awesome if you can just use the chat so that there won't be interference when we are trying to contribute. And now we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook. So not just Nigeria alone. So if you want to can you still hear me? I just want to know if you can hear me clearly. All right, can you hear me? Apologies for that. I think one of our calls muted everybody so that we don't have disruption. So I know you can all hear me now. So I was saying, if you can just drop in the chat section where you joining this conference from. We want to hear from you. I have a lot of energy this evening, and I'm so happy to be here, having this conversation on Ambidextrous Conference. It's going to be fantastic. Ibrahim from Maiduguri, nice one. Welcome, Ibrahim. I hope you have high expectation, right? I'll ask what people want to take away from it. Fantastic. Stephen from Benue, a lot of people are dropping it. Olawale from Lagos, welcome, Olawale. Nice to have you here. Nicolas from Lagos, welcome, Nicolas. Thanks for joining. It's going to be a great session. Gifts. Wow, Vivian from Lagos, Damilola from Ibadan. We have great people here. Nice guys. Awesome. And if your friend is not on this call, you can share the link. They can make it to the Zoom room. They can join us on YouTube or on Facebook. We're live. The same link work. Victory from Ilorin. Fantastic. We're going to start the session at 7:10 on the dot. Just trying to set some lay some housekeeping rules. Please, when you join, just mute yourself. And then if you want to contribute, want to ask questions, you can just use the raise hand functionality. More importantly, if you want to drop any maybe outstanding point, something that stick out to you during the conversation, you can just use the chat room. I can actually read that out for you so that everybody can hear what you want to say. We want to ensure that we're not having disruption during the call. Awesome. So I just want to ask, what are your expectations for today's session? We're going to have 6 powerful, amazing speakers, right? For this session, it's going to be based on finance and crypto. That's the introduction section. So we're having 2 speakers today speaking on finance, speaking on crypto. There are a lot that is happening now in our world, and we can't just afford to be ignorant. And this is the best time to be alive. This is the best time to be alive to maximize all these opportunities. You want to really, really maximize them and change your life, literally. And that's the idea of ambidextrous. There are people that have learned to maximize their productivity, multiply their wealth, their influence, get where they want to get to quicker. Stephen is saying my expectation is to learn the secret to succeeding, in crypto space. Fantastic, Stephen. I just want to drop just one thing that you want to take away from this session. So the whole idea of ambidextrous, there are people that have multiple capability. If you're working, you're a student, you're a business owner, you want to activate another thing that you can do. Because literally now we're in a space where you don't want to do one thing or 2 things. You want to do many things well, and it's possible. It's about building the right system. And these speakers will be sharing a lot of insight. Someone said, Timitayo said, I want to learn about finance and how to make priority. Fantastic. Is that team finance? So some of our growth asset team will be dropping some of the hashtag in the chat room. So if you find anything useful and you want to share on social media, you can use those hashtags. And it's going to be a great session. Awesome, awesome. So you still have the opportunity to share what you want to learn. We have like 4 minutes before we go live with the first speaker. So if you have something interesting you want to share, just drop it on the chat room. Why are you joining this section? What's going to be your takeaway? What do you want to learn? What's that thing? You have the opportunity on the sign-up form to pick specific things that you really want to resonate with you. So that the sessions are tailor-made to ensure that it meets your needs. So you don't want to drop that in the chat room, and let's get on with it. So while we wait for other people to join, in the next 3 minutes, we'll be live with the first speaker. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Someone said, Nicola said, I want to learn how to maximize the finance, secret to maximizing my finance. Fantastic. No, money is powerful. It's powerful. So, Nicholas, you're at the right place. And I can show you, you're going to learn a lot today that are practical, things that are practical that you can use. After this call, just after this call, you can hit the ground running and start doing something interesting, So again, we're live on Facebook and on YouTube. So if your friend eventually can get into the call, they can use the other links to join the session. All right. Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys, so we're going to start to keep to time. So the first speaker that we're bringing on board now to share on how to manage and maximize your finance is Temitope Olusoya. And I'm going to read a short bio. Temitope is an abundant catalyst, financial consultant, and a thought leader. She's passionate about wealth creation, financial literacy, and how to develop people who has capacity to train, to coach, and she has consulted for over 1,000 millennials in training and coaching. She is a professional, and she is a professional in financial space, and she helps business owner and young professionals to build financial literacy and competencies. So today, Temitope will be speaking to us on how to manage, and how to multiply your finance. So I want you to show us some love in the chat session and say, welcome, Temitope. I just wanted to drop something so as I bring Temitope up. Hi, Temitope, are you there?
Yes, and I will be. Good evening. Can you hear me, please?
I can hear you, but we can't see your video feed yet.
Okay, can you see me
now? Yes, let me try and give you right.
Okay, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, and can you see me?
Yeah, we can see you.
All right, good evening, Fikwayami. I want to be sure you can hear me, Fikwayami. Should I just proceed? All right, good evening, everyone. Wherever you're joining from, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's good evening from here in Lagos, Nigeria. You're welcome to the Ambidextrous Conference, and I really want to thank every member of a team of Growth Asset. I want to thank Fikwayomi especially. Thank you for having me here. It's good to be part of this Ambidextrous Conference. I saw the energy and I was so excited. Like, young people are really interested about finance now, and it's good to see this. It's good to know this, that we are interested in our finance now. So we have different people here today. We have different people, and I believe that they came for different reasons. Everybody likes to talk about money. The conversation about money is consistently ongoing. Can you all still hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, I'm sorry. I think I muted myself. Please, somebody should just help me. Yes, okay, thank you. I'm back. So here we are tonight with different people with different expectations. But one spectacular thing I have discovered over time that whenever we hear about finance, everybody's thinking about money. And the idea is, how can I make more money? Nobody ever comes to any financial conference, seminar, or whatever to come and learn any other thing apart from how can I make more money? Or is there anybody here tonight that came for another reason? I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, here tonight, I'm going to be taking us through managing and growing your finance. And this boils down specifically to your personal finance, your social finance, and your behavioral finance. So your earnings is a very big tool that has the capacity to enhance your life. Your earnings is a tool for enhancing your life. So it is important to talk about managing it. It is important to talk about how you grow with it. And you will be limited in your thinking if you believe that money is the only thing that makes up your finance. So your finance is all about managing your financial resources. And this cuts across a lot of other things apart from just having money, making money. Cuts across investing, cuts across budgeting, it cuts across risk management, a whole lot of things that is involved in finance. And I would like to quickly share my screen and share something fantastic that I found out with you. So there was a survey, a research that was carried out last year using, can you see my screen, please? A research was carried out last year using 2,000 young adults by the London Institute of Banking and Finance. And one of the fantastic things we found out through that research is a large number of people got their financial knowledge from their environments, their immediate environment, which is their family. So you can see the statistics here, where 75% of people say they learned it from their family. And we had just 13% say they were self-taught, while just 8% had the opportunity to be taught about their personal finance in school. So I want to believe the story is not too far-fetched, no matter where you're connecting from, whether you are in Africa, you are in Australia, you're in America, or wherever you are. The story is almost the same for a lot of people. We are not taught about money in school or finance in school. We are mostly taught about it because the first encounter you have with money is in your family. I can remember my 1-year-old niece currently. If you hand her any paper note currently, immediately you give her the money. She steps out and she just wants to go get something. And it's began from that place for every one of us. Those were the encounters we have with money. For somebody like me, while growing up and being a class 1 student at 9-year-old, I was my mother's business manager. I was employed into a business where she sells at a traveler's park. And probably because I was a last born, she really entrusted me with virtually everything. And that was my own exposure to the world of finance. So as a business manager who doubles as a CFO, I needed to make sure stocks were renewed. There was inventory flowing. I needed to pay creditors. I needed to make sure suppliers are bringing our stock at the right time. They are paying them as early as 9-year-old. And as God will have it, my employment was terminated when I was 11 because my mom had to go be with the Lord. And immediately, also, I can remember having to sell 1 or 2 things for my sister, who was then a teacher and was using a provision store to earn another income. Then my dad was the banker who always keeps record of every penny. Even till death, you can hardly find a penny in my dad's pocket, no matter how you search. I remember at his death, we found out the details of how much he has spent on each child's school fees over the years. And that was amazing. This is my own story. I don't know what your own story has been. It could be different for you. But what is your story about financing? How were you? What was your exposure to the world of finance? Because this talks a lot about your experience in life currently. You are a product of all the things you have learned over time and what you probably have self-taught in recent times and what you will have to keep learning. And all of this makes up your financial success or otherwise, depending on what you're exposed to. So this evening, why? Why should you manage your finance? That's what we're going to be looking at first. Why should you manage your finance? The number one reason why you should manage your finance is because your finance is a God-given resource. And it is your responsibility to maximize it. It is the resource God has given you to create wealth, to profit on the earth. And it is your responsibility to manage it, to maximize it. So if you're on this call and the reason why you came is, how do I make more money? That's fantastic. That's beautiful. But I also want you to know that money is not the only thing that makes up your financial resources. Albeit, even with that money, you are not given money in life just to enjoy life and get all the good stuff you want. Your money is supposed to enhance your life. It is a creative tool God has given man. So do what? To create wealth, to profit. And also money, your finance, your financial resources. Another reason, which is the second point I will be sharing with you tonight, why you have to manage it is that you need money to gain power and influence. There's nothing you want to do when it comes to influencing and impacting your world that will not require money, that will not require finance. And it's not necessarily just yours, but it is a very key tool that is necessary for you when you are passionate about influencing your world and impacting. Then the last reason why you should manage your money is that you need to pay for the life you want. So to pay for the life you want, you have to manage your resources. So how then do you manage your resources? One big thing I'm going to be big on tonight is financial literacy, financial education. From the survey I shared earlier, from the research rather I shared earlier, you can see that a large percentage of us are formed by what we learned from that one. But unfortunately, some of our parents didn't also have the right understanding of knowledge. So the best some parents had is go to school, earn money, get a job, earn money, marry, and train your children to go to school so that they can pay for you at old age. That's the format. That's the model a lot of family runs. Imagine that was the same thing handed over to you. That means you are at the mercy of experiencing as much as your parents experience. But if you stretch a little bit, probably you will experience more. So what is that thing that you need to do to manage your finance? You need to be self-taught. We need the percentage of these self-taught people to go way beyond 13%. You need to train yourself. You need to go after financial literacy. I don't know if there's anybody on this call that studied banking and finance or even accounting as I did. But I know I was never taught about my personal finance in school, even though I studied accounting. I don't know about people that studied. The best I had is probably when we did commerce in secondary school, and also we did business studies. For those that did banking and finance, I don't know if they run it down in a way that what you were learning in classroom were things that were practical and you could apply in your own finance. So if that's not the case, it means then that you need to take up that responsibility and go after financial education. You need to advance your financial intelligence. To manage your finance, you need financial intelligence. And if you don't have it, you don't have it. That's the difference between the rich and the poor. The poor are not poor because they don't have money. It's because of the level of intelligence they are functioning and operating hard when it comes to their finance. So what makes people poor is not the lack of money, it's the lack of the power, the information, the knowledge that gives the power to make wealth. So a lot of time when you call for conferences like this, people are looking up to how to make money, not necessarily how to gain financial intelligence to make money. So that has to change for you. That has to change for you. The new gold is knowledge. We are in the dispensation and in the generation where we are knowledge brokers. We are thought leaders. You have a lot of information available for you that if you leverage on it, you will do well and build wealth over time. One of the bad things that is happening to us also now is everybody wants to, this quick race. Everyone wants to run that race. And that song we sing in Nigeria. I don't know for those that are acquainted with the song, like I want to be as rich as Dangote. I want to be as rich as Bill Gates. I want to be as rich. Fantastic. What a beautiful dream. But do you have the knowledge? Do you have the power? Because knowledge is power. Do you have the power that it takes to make that happen? You need to go after that power. You need to go after that power, which is knowledge. You need to go after financial education. Guys, sometimes you have to pay for them. Some of them are not free. Some of you have to join communities where you can learn, where you can leverage on other people's knowledge. Some of you have to pay for it. That's another thing. Nobody wants to pay for that, but you want to earn. You want to increase your earning potential and everything, but you don't want to pay for it. No. To manage your finance, you need financial intelligence. And that financial intelligence is not going to come cheaply. You have to go after it. So let me move quickly. There are 5 stages of growing your finance I'll be sharing with you this evening. And I call it by a principle. I call it a principle of 2M BSP. There are 5 principles of financial growth. And as you can see on my screen, you can see that from the circle where I started from, it's make money, to multiply money, to building an emergency fund, then starting your investment journey, and then protecting your money. The hazard we work with as young people, whether as undergraduates, as a young graduate, as a professional, a millennial, is we want to go from making money to the 4th stage, which is starting your investment journey. Some people even want to go from 0 to 4, like they just want to start an investment journey. They don't want to care how the money comes. They just want to start their investment journey. But the beautiful thing about life is, like, you have to go through cycles, you have to go through processes. And if you skip a process, you are going to pay for it. And that is going to cost you time. So it's better to start with. So what's the first stage? The first stage for you is to make money. And when you make that money, this is the stage you have to learn how to structure your finance. People are not poor because they don't have money. I keep saying that. That is the reason why you will see somebody that wins lottery today, and in the next 1 month, somebody that wins 10 million naira lottery is already poor. That means something is wrong, because that person has the money, but there's no structure to that money. There's no intelligence that's making that money work. There is no intelligence that is managing that money. So as much as you make money in the first stage, that is the stage also where you have to know how to structure your finance. What do I mean by structuring your finance? Putting a structure to what you spend, what you invest, what you save, what you give to a particular cause, what you use to upskill your life, what you use to pay for additional knowledge so that you can make more money. That's what you do at the first stage. And these are principles that work no matter where you take it to, no matter the continent you are using it. These are universal principles that works for anybody. Are we still together? Please let me see I want to see this chatbot. I want to be sure that people are listening to me. And I want you to really share your light bulb moments. I've been speaking for some minutes now. Please share your light bulb moments. Share what is really ringing in your head, and you're like, this is it. This is the word for me. Okay. The first one is to make money. Then the second one, after making money and building structure to your money, you have to go to multiplying money. So the hazard between these two stages is people are making money, but they want to keep money safe. They don't want to multiply money, because multiplying money will require a new set of knowledge. Multiplying money will require a new set of environment exposure. It will demand releasing the money that you have. But that a lot of people don't want to do. They don't want to pay for knowledge that will help them probably get higher skills or anything that will help them make more money. So they want to stay where they are while believing the God that makes money drop from the tree to multiply money from them. It doesn't work like that. You have to drop money to multiply money. You have to start thinking of what can I do more with the money I have. You have to start at some point in multiplying money. Some of you have to go for additional education, additional exposure. You have to pay to join communities because you want to multiply money. And if you don't do this, it's not going to come cheaply. It's not going to land on your chest. The third stage is building an emergency fund. As simple as this sounds, I have seen people overlook this a lot of time. So people want to make money and just go straight to fund, or they want to multiply money and just from the second stage, they move down to the fourth stage. But emergencies are part of life. The examination of life have no timetable. It won't inform you before it happens. As much as you may not be totally able to prepare for emergencies in life, but you can do a little, which is building an emergency fund. What's an emergency fund? Emergency fund is a reserve where you keep money aside for things that are unforeseen, things that you could never plan for to happen. And these things can be anything for anybody. It could be health that your HMO cannot take care of for those that have HMO. It could be fire accident. Your house just got caught up with fire and you have to start all over again. Where do you start from? Before people come to start helping you, they ask you what have you been doing with the money you have. So it is important to build an emergency. You don't jump from making money and multiplying money to starting to invest. That's the mistake a lot of young people make, because we are money conscious. So you feel like, I bet, let me just do this. Let me just quickly multiply this money. Let me just do this. And you don't want to prepare for this you may not be in control of. Whether you like it or not, you are going to have emergencies. Thank you for that question. Please, somebody should help me note that. Somebody's asking a question about emergency fund. We're going to take that after this class. So the third stage is for you to build an emergency fund. It's very important. The next stage is starting your investment journey. And what is the purpose of your investment journey? Is to build pipelines. Investment is basically taking money from today and putting in the future so that you can pay for the future. I don't know if you get it. So just like borrowing is taking money from the future to spend today, investment is taking money from today to prepare for the future so that you can pay for the expenses of the future. Investing is not going to come easy for you, but you have to start where you are. You have to start the journey, no matter how uneasy it is. No matter the excuse people give for not starting their investment journey is that I am not earning so much, so I cannot start investing. Whether you like it or not, if you keep saying the same thing in the next 5 years, nothing is going to change. Nobody gets wealthy by just engaging God and telling him to perform miracles. God is a principled God. He has principles. He has things that makes wealth to happen. And one of them is putting your seed down. Your investment journey has to start wherever you are, whether you're an undergraduate. I remember I started my investment journey in my 300 level in the University of Benin in Nigeria. In my 300 level, I was going to cross to my final year, and I needed more money because I was a self-sponsoring student in school. I needed more money. That was the motivation then. But albeit, in the midst of that lack, that it seemed then, I had to start. It was tough for me to also accept, but I had a friend I referred to as my rich dad. And if you are here, you need to watch out for my next book. It's going to be released soon. I refer to him as my own rich dad because it was practically the person that kept saying, Timitopa, you can't invest. I'm like, I don't even have money to eat. I'm still trying to pay for my handouts. I leave school to go and work on weekends to earn money. How do you want me to do this? And he said, yes, even if it is 5,000 naira, you have to run your life in a month as a student. Out of it, you're going to bring out something and you're going to start investing. And my investment journey then for me was towards financial education. I started paying for classes. I started buying books. So it depends on what level you are in your own life, but don't make excuses for it. Because if you make excuses from now to the next 10 years, it won't change anything for you. But those that took action today are going to be better for it. So start your investment journey from where you are. Another myth that makes people not to start is they think they need a lot of money to start investing. No, there are different investment types for different levels. You need to know where you are. You need to know what works for you where you are. You need to start with what you have where you are. Do you get that? You need to know where you are. You need to know what works for you where you are. And you need to start where you are. So no more excuses. And for those that have started their investment journey, you are my real MVP. I'm celebrating you already because you're doing great. And there's more. Just keep going, keep getting investment education, do your due diligence, and keep going. These are principles. Yes, I have MVPs. Yeah, very important. That's beautiful. And we need more people to be on this camp. You don't know how beautiful it was for me last week. I saw a mail from Forbes because I am on the Forbes list email. And I received a mail saying, I just saw a line of the email, Cardano's Ada. I was like, Cardano's Ada. I had to quickly go. It's a beautiful journey. It is beautiful. It's not because some people had a lot of money, kept somewhere, but they stood up, they understand, they understood where they are, and they are using what they have at the place they are. So don't give an excuse, keep moving. Then the last principle, which is the last stage on the principles for financial growth, is protecting your money. I'll be it for those of my MVPs that I have now. You need to start thinking of protecting your money. And protecting your money also needs a new level of education, a new level of knowledge. You need to go after knowledge. Remember, knowledge is the new gold. To protect your money. Some of you are making a lot of money. You don't have as simple as HMO, health insurance. You don't have life insurance. You don't have insurance for your cars. You are living you are. And funny enough, these are people that say they don't have the power to take risk for some kind of investment. You are taking risk already. Just that the risk is not a calculated one. Some of us go into investment as you just hear and say, your friends say, this is the coin that is raining now. This is this thing. You just go for, let me go and buy it. No, you're not protecting your money that way. You have to protect your money. You have to go after education. You have to do due diligence before you put your money to it. And this all makes up the principle. It's a circle. You need to start from making money to multiplying money to building your emergency fund to starting your investment journey and progressing at it and protecting your money. Don't try to start making money and moving to protecting your money. Even at the level of making money, you have to protect your money. Yes, fine. Yes. But I'm just trying to say, don't try to skip one level. Because if you do that, it's going to cost, you're going to bond for it. It's going to cost you some losses that is not necessary. I hope we are following. So I just have to run up now, and I'm going to be leaving you with my parting words. I believe that we have different classes of people here. And I'm sure I saw the statistics of people that registered for the conference. And I saw that a lot of new graduates, young professionals are here. Please, as a young professional, the first thing you have to go after is financial intelligence. Grow your financial. Pay the price for it. If you have to join communities, pay for it. If you have to buy books, pay for courses to learn. The world is a global village now, so you have a lot of things to learn from. But please build your financial intelligence. Because if you go in life with the first notion of, I want to make money, it doesn't end well. Ask those guys that are doing fantastically well. They were not born with It was not poverty or a kind of mentality of I want to make money. No, they wanted to make impact. They wanted to create something that will last more than them. They wanted to create something that can keep generating money for them over time. Do we understand? So the first thing for you as a young professional, number one, grow your intelligence. Please align yourself to time. Let time work for you. Align yourself to opportunities and readiness. That's the beauty of financial intelligence. When you're financially intelligent, that means you are ready for opportunities. So when opportunity comes and it makes you ready, then you can position yourself to be wealthy over time. Stop this race of wanting to get rich quick. It doesn't work for anybody. Over time, maximize time to work for you. The second thing I'm going to say to young professionals here, please put your career in perspective. Be serious about what you're doing on your career. Some of us are currently on jobs where we are underpaid, that you know that it's not going to lead you anywhere in the future, but you are stuck to that. You know why? Two reasons. You don't want to move because you are familiar with that comfort zone. You don't want to take the risk of learning new skills that can put you in places where you can earn well. But you just have to make the decision today and put your career in perspective. Because if you don't do it, in the next 10 years, the tech revolution is going to take another dimension. If you are aware of what's happening now, I tell people that we don't even have a problem of unemployment again. We have unemployability problem because people don't have the skills to take jobs that are available. And these are jobs that are high-paying jobs, but people don't have the skills. It is going to take a new thinking. Your head will headache you. If you have to go after a new skill that is not easy for you. For somebody like me, even though I'm in finance, I am delving towards tech every day. Last week, I was taking a course on SQL, structured query language. I was stuck. I needed to ask somebody for help today. But I needed to challenge myself that the fact that I'm not used to this, I can't be familiar with that. I have to go to new things because I want to expand my opportunity to make money. You reduce your opportunity to make money if you don't put your career in perspective. And the next thing I'm going to tell you, of course, I've said this, start from where you are. Start being financially accountable at your level. Start putting structure to your money. Start paying up to scale up. And build a deliberate tribe of quality and advancing people. I'm not here to tell you about the next investment opportunity to take, but I'm giving you life principles that if you begin to do them and you apply yourself to it, because where are you going to get opportunities to invest if you are not in a community of quality people, advancing people? You need to put yourself in the something fantastic happened to me last year. My dad passed and I needed to do burial. And I discovered that all the resources I needed for my father's burial were provided by the reason of the communities I belong to. I spent more than a quarter of a million. But I discovered that out of all of that money that I expended, my own share was not up to 5% of what I spent. And that was when I knew the beauty of being part of an advancing tribe. Because the money you need is not, you can't work for the money you're going, all of the money you're going to need in your life. You're going to have to leverage on other people's money, other people's resources, other people's time. But if you're not investing deliberately in those relationships, in those communities now, you can't reap from where you do not sow. A lot of us are carried away in this social media world. You think you are close, you have 1,000 followers, you have 50K followers, you can even buy followers now. But those followers, if you say all of them should give you 10,000, you are supposed to be rich as of tomorrow. But can any one of them drop that for you? So you need to deliberate about that too. Then collaborate with them, these people that are in your tribe that you are building. Collaborate with them. Collaboration is also the new gold. You are cheating yourself if you don't collaborate. Collaborate with them. Some of you are burning with business ideas that you are stuck with and you can't move forward because you don't have the capacity to do it alone. But there's somebody in your circle that can be a co-founder that you can invite in, probably to owning equity or paying them or something, and you can leverage on that tribe to do more. You are dragging because you want to do it alone. No, nobody goes far alone. If you want to go far, you go with people. Then lastly, expand your means. It's no news again that in this current situation we have, particularly for those of us that are in Nigeria, you need more money every day because your purchasing power, whether you like it or not, by the reason of the economy is increasing, and you need to do more. You will need more money to be able to live the kind of life you want to live. So how do you do that? Expand your means. Expand your means. Look out for more opportunities to create wealth. Do I need to get a new skill? Do I need to learn something new? Do I need to invest for social period of time? All of that, you have to put it into perspective. I'm going to be off here now in the next 2 minutes. For the undergraduates that are here, I have you at my, don't think, oh, all of the things they are saying is for the people that are earning money. I know you're not earning money yet, but I told you that I started my investment journey in 300. In fact, even before I went to the university, I was one of those people that had to spend about 7 years at home, between secondary school, before going to the university. And what was I doing between those 7 years? I know I went to learn catering. I went to learn catering and hotel management. I worked in hotels. I ran jobs. And at a point, I said, I needed more money. I need to start my own business. And I started a business back then. And that was what I was doing all through school to pay for my bills as a student in the university. So you don't have any excuse. You have to undo that part of you that is waiting till graduation to start earning money, to start building wealth. No, it's so beautiful that you have people, your partners, your stakeholders are in school. They are in your dormitory. They're in your rooms. They are your roommates. You can do a lot of things with them. Not even in this tech world. You guys are smart. Leverage on it. There's no miraculous job that is waiting for you after. It's not as you think. So leave that classroom. Let's just go on Facebook. Go to school to Facebook, but while you're facing book, start spreading yourself. Start building team with people where you can create products that you can begin to sell. Start taking internship opportunities during long holidays to serve and learn. Start building skills. And lastly, leverage on your community. It will be tough for you to graduate and start looking for business partners when you grow. When you come out of school, your business partner is in your dormitory, like I said. Your business partner is in your fellowship. Your business partner is in your class. Look for them. Connect with them. For some of us that are social saviors, they're going to be into social impact and all of that. Your partners, your team, your volunteers, they are in your school, and you have to just connect with them. If you don't connect with them, you are going to have to stretch yourself, which is not necessary. So relationships are important. Relationships are very important. Very, very important. And as you are in school currently as an undergraduate, start building those relationships. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Can you all hear me? Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Tokwe. Guys, can you just appreciate Tokwe in the chat? Just show us love. Thank you so much. I think I like the way you kind of speak to all the segments we have on the call. And I'm curious. I have some questions for you. I'm curious in the sense that I want to really know. So someone asked about emergency fund. I don't have money, so I don't have enough money, not even to invest, and that's been said, considering the current situation of the country. So where does emergency fund? I mean, how is it relevant to me? As a young professional, not even as an undergraduate, because what I have is not.
Okay, as a young professional, I want to believe that at the level you have your earning power. That means you have something you can do to earn money, just that the money is not enough. So I understand that it could be tough for you to start putting money aside. But the mistake a lot of people make is at that level, they want to start investing instead of them start building emergency fund. The best you can do for yourself is kill that excuse and just do the minimum you can do. And another thing you can do is, for some of you that work in places where you get some bonuses, where you get things like 13th month, where you get some allowances and all of that, it may not be much, but those are the kind of money you can be pushing to your emergency fund. Probably you get free money. Somebody dash you 5K or so. Instead of spending it again, those are the kind of money you can be putting your emergency fund. Because whether you like it or not, emergency will happen.
Okay, thank you so much. I think that is practical for, and I'm going to push the envelope, right? It's practical for a young professional and they can relate with it. So when you look at an undergraduate and, although things has changed, obviously, so many people are exploring the opportunity to make money now. If you have questions, I'm going to take maybe one or more.
I like this statement. I like your energy. She said, "Now money will rush me after this conference." I like that.
Yeah. So yeah. So I was thinking, for an undergraduate student, as much as you don't want to speak to specific or what they can do, what do you think they can do in practical terms now to make money? Yes. And what are the things they can invest in? And I'm going to lay another question on that, which is considering the current trends where most financial vehicles and investment platforms that people trust are currently going through transition. So what will you advise for young people, a young undergraduate that he has just more money and you don't want to waste that money, it's not the kind of money they can throw away. So what will you advise, considering that they're
I'm going to take the first question. The first question is speaking to the undergraduates. What can they really do to make money? You can sell to make
what can they do to make money? That's one. And how can they invest it?
Invest. What can you do to make money? You can sell to make money. Can you hear me, please? You can sell to make money. I sold all through my stay in the university. Way back 2014, I sold cakes. I sold. So you can sell. Learn a skill and start selling. We are in the world where you can take remote jobs. So with those skills that you have, take remote jobs that you can do in a time that is manageable with your studies to earn. Look for opportunities in school. So serve your co-classmates, things they can't do themselves, like writing projects. You can get printers and start doing printing works and all of that. But there are a lot of opportunity. Don't look too far. Just look at your streets. When you are going today, in your dormitory, look at it. It could be as simple as pure water, but don't give the excuse of you can't do anything. Look out around you, sell something, go online to take remote jobs, partner with your friends to build something like a product you can sell, such as courses. We are in a tech world where a lot of things to do, a lot of things are available just on your phone. So just explore as much as you can. And now as an undergraduate, we want to assume that you have explored all of that and you're already making money. So how can you leverage the money you're already making through investment? I have some links with you, Fikwayomi, and I want you to share those links right now to everybody on this call. I have a money type test you need to take. There is an investment course by one of us, one of the speakers here, and I listened to it recently and it really blew my mind. Like, it's fantastic. It will help you to know a lot about investment. And there's another risk assessment test. You don't just go about investing because you have money to invest. Even as an undergraduate, you have to learn and know your risk. You don't need to take your risk assessment. You need to know the kind of risk you can take at your level. Are you going to take the kind of risk where you lose all money, you are going to be fine, or you lose all money, you are going to have a potential and fail your exam? So you need to fine-tune all of that. By the time you fine-tune all of that, then you can now start saying, what kind of investment options fits me at this level? Because of my risk appetite, where do I fall? Can I take the high risk? Can I do short term? Can I do low risk? Is that where I fall? Then you explore the opportunities that are available. For those that are called to low risk, you may have to do bonds, euro bonds. You may have to do basic saving in places where you earn some percentages that are more than the traditional bank if you're a low risk kind of person. But if you're medium risk, if you're high risk, you can be thinking of how can I learn the science of crypto, the science of stock markets. If you're short term, can you do agriculture? There are a lot of crowdfunding investments now that you can just take a slot with as simple as 20,000, 30,000, but you need to be able to understand the kind of risk you can take first. I took that risk in my final year by putting the money. That was my first investment. How many of us are MMM alumni here? Glory, we are here. I used my final year money to invest in MMM as much as people were saying. In fact, the guy I referred to as my rich dad said I should not do it. But my friend said it will work. After a lot of people have done it and I was the last batch that was given help that never received help. So it is not enough to have money to invest. You have to know where you fall, the kind of risk you can take, and explore the option that fits your risk type.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tokwe. I think personally, I have some level of clarity, especially because of the framework you shared. So, and the takeaway for me personally, and I want you guys to just write your takeaway at the group, at the chat. What are your takeaway from this session? I think for me is the system. So my journey to financial freedom, managing my finances and multiplying it is not just erratic. So there's kind of a system, and I really appreciate sharing those systems. And can we slide? I mean, we have over close to 300 people that registered for this event, and we have about 1,000 people on our database. So we'd like to share it with them. Will you be able to share that slide with us?
Yes, I'm going to send the slide to you. Share the link for the test, and please ensure, don't be lazy about this thing. That's one of the things. You can't be lazy and be rich. It doesn't work together. You can't be, you have to be hungry. You have to be thirsty. You have to, that you must be hungry with not having enough. You must be hungry to build wealth, not just for you, but for your generations to come. It's important that we make it easy for those that are coming after us. So take those tests and be sincere with yourself. Start from where you are. Don't shoot yourself in the leg. My friend is doing it. It's not an investment principle. It doesn't work. My friend is doing it. Let me go and do it. You're going to burn. And that's how life is generally. Some things that work for some people don't work for some people. And it's because people are different. So know your money type. Do your risk analysis. Know where you can start from, and please start. Start from where you are. You asked the question the other time about investment opportunities for young people in Nigeria that is not really working well because a lot of changes are coming up and everything. Guys, you have to look beyond Nigeria. That's just all I can say. Look beyond Nigeria. It is not going to be easy because it will take another level of education, another level of acquiring knowledge, but you have to be diligent enough to go after it, pay for it, and you will get it. So look beyond Nigeria. Then begin to talk to your friends. Begin to talk to your friends. What can we do? How can we create our own products? But most importantly, look beyond Nigeria. Look beyond your shores. Don't be thinking Dubai. Think, wait, there are other currencies that are bigger than dollar. Look out for how you can connect. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to happen just in one day, but go through the process, and I believe you get it right.
Yeah, thank you so much. We're 5 minutes behind the next schedule, and I really appreciate you just pouring your heart out, to really push the boundary of this conversation. And I'm convinced that this conversation can end here. So if you can just share your social media handle. I follow you online, so I know you share some of this helpful content, because some of these things you can feed a skinny child in one day, literally. So it has to be information that we are all building on, and build that kind of. This looks like an introduction to a journey that we can just follow you online and learn from you. So we appreciate if you can share that on the group, in the chat, so that we can people on the call can follow you, and other guys are also joining on YouTube and Facebook can also follow you. Thank you so much, Tokwe. Guys, I just want you to appreciate Tokwe in the chat. Thank you so much for your time, and really appreciate you spending this last 45 minutes just pouring your heart out on managing, and multiplying your finances. Thank you so much. Guys, I can't see your comments in the chat appreciating Tokwe. Thank you, Tokwe. Fantastic. So the next session is going to be, we're taking it a notch higher, right? So Tokwe talk about crypto, and we'll be having conversation about crypto. Now, crypto is an evolving space, and people have different perspectives to it. But I'm so confident that the next speaker is going to create some level of clarity and bring it on, at least share a perspective with everybody on the call, on the Zoom, on the YouTube, and on the Facebook group, that after this call, we know specific things to do and better way to engage this opportunity. So I'll be bringing up Kenny, and I want to read his profile. It's a very short profile, but powerful. I'm sure that Kenny's on the call. So Kenny is a polymath, and he actually majors in development and empowering people. He's an empowerment and development strategist. He helps people in creative, strategic work, building influence, and crushing goals. So you have targets. Kenny is the right guy you can go to. And he has poise and experience around business, finances, and governance. So Kenny will be speaking to us today on how the understanding crypto and better way of engaging crypto. Guys, I want you to appreciate Kenny. Kenny, I'm sure you're on the call. Please, if you have more questions, you can still drop it in the chat. We want to stay within time. I believe that Toko is still on the call, so she can also answer those questions while we take Kenny. Yeah, thank you so much. Hi, Kenny. Can you hear me? And are you on the call? Apologies, guys. I have to unmute Kenny. Actually, I was the one actually delaying him from. So Kenny.
Okay.
Yeah,
I believe I'm audible. I'm sorry, I'm kind of mobile at the moment, so my video might not really work as efficiently as I'd want to. So I hope I still have the permission to go on with that.
Of course, you can go ahead. Thank you.
All right, so I'll be sharing my screen right about now because the session we're going into is a bit more practical. So, yes. I'm sharing my screen. So I'd like to know if you can see the screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, perfect. Okay, so we're going to be kicking things off right about now. So our journey today is going to be around the claims of foreign exchange and cryptocurrency, especially the trading aspects of it. I've got about 40 minutes, so I've got a lot of things to share with us. So a brief introduction about me. So my name is Ken Yomiale. I am a development and empowerment strategist. I am a polymath. I have authored books into the learning and development space, as well as a consultant and advisory in business, finance, and governance. I handle two basic courses. So the first has to do with a training initiative, which is the Hack-Heinzel School of Innovation, where it's for creative strategies and influencers in business, finance, and governance. I also manage an investment community, which is an exclusive community for financial intelligence, personal economy, and for wealth creators, okay? So these are the things I'm passionate about. I'm also passionate about entrepreneurship and things being done in a well-structured manner. Okay, so some of the contacts you would have there on the screen in case you would need to reach out to me at the end of the session. So when it comes to the game of Forex and cryptocurrency, sometimes foreign exchange or Forex, it's not necessarily cryptocurrency, and we're going to talk about that in a bit. So let's start off with the history of foreign exchange. Now, in the 6th century, that was the first time the gold coin was mined and it became a means of tender. And so that was in Lydia, that was an ancient country. Then after that, gold became a standard of exchange. So it became, people could now trade in gold. People could hedge things against gold. And then America in 1834 moved to adopt gold. So that's when you hear companies or organizations or nations rather having gold reserves. Okay, this is when it actually started. Then later on, other organizations started following the route of the American system. And also we had the major icebreaker in 1914 and about 1939, where we had the USD, the United States dollar became a hedged part, okay? And so from there, we had 1973. It was at that time that currencies could change, could move slightly. Before then, currency was always a standard rate of exchange. Now, things have been moving all the way then up until the time where we started having internet trading, and hence people could trade online, using financial backing. So different countries now have different currencies, and all of those currencies are available online for trading. Now, because of the difference in currencies, when you are buying and you're selling currencies, there's a slight change in price. So people began to notice that they could actually leverage on that change in price to make some money, okay? And that's where the concept of foreign exchange was birthed, okay? So it's important for us to understand how powerful foreign exchange was. Foreign exchange started with the birth of floating currencies, when currencies could have slight change in value. So every nation, so let's use Nigeria, for example. Nigeria is one of the most populous countries in Africa, or West Africa, as the case may be. The naira could shift between a week, between a month. So those little changes in that naira, in that currency, people could leverage on it in foreign exchange, and then they get their profit from it. Now, the beautiful thing about foreign exchange is that if you do it right, it can change your life forever. There are people who have used foreign exchange to make their life more beautiful. But before we go into all of that, cryptocurrency is something that a lot of us have probably heard about. Is the latest wave in town at the moment. In 1998, gold, was coined, kind of like a virtual currency that paid people based on the proof of work on the system they do. But for people who know about cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, you know of the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. He was the one who, he or she, as the case may be, who wrote the white paper detailing, how the Bitcoin is supposed to run. And then from that time, from 2008, it started growing. In 2011, Bitcoin crossed the $1 mark for the first time. In 2010, between 2009 and 2010, something interesting happened where someone bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. It's unimaginable, right? Okay, but that's when people started seeing this as a means of value, a means of exchange, up until 2013, when Bitcoin crossed the $1,000 mark, and even up to the end of 2017, it crossed the 19,000. And as today is crossing almost the $50,000 mark. And there are postulations that towards the end of the year or the middle of next year, Bitcoin could actually cross or hit close to $100,000, ceteris paribus, all things being equal. So there are lots of opportunities, in these means of exchange. Either you're thinking through foreign exchange or you're looking at cryptocurrency. However, before you go jumping into these things, it's important for you to know that there are certain risks involved. But once you know how to calculate the market, study the market, then you can actually leverage on some of these things. So when we're talking about trading, whether you're thinking forex trading or cryptocurrency trading, what you are actually doing is you're looking for opportunities. You're looking for leverages on the change of price between the buying and the selling rate of different currencies. Basically, that is it. That's the concept behind all of that. So we're going to be taking a deeper look into this, so that we are trying to rush because I could foresee certain questions coming by reason of this. So I want to get through all of this theoretical stuff before we get things started. Now, if you look at your screen, something amazing happened, in 2013. George Soros, for many of us who might know him, Soros is one of the wealthy guys in the world. He sold the Australian dollar using the foreign exchange against the US dollar, and he made $1 billion. $1 billion. Can you imagine that? So once you know how to play the game, once you know what to look out for, you can always maximize that change in price, in the foreign exchange or even in the cryptocurrency stage. Okay, so you have to be a master of economics or finance. You have to know how to test the waters. Some of these things we are actually going to be talking about today. So there are two basic means of analyzing either foreign exchange or cryptocurrency. So the first is fundamental analysis. Now, when we mean fundamental analysis, that means you're studying the economy, you're studying the company, you're studying the industry, and then using the findings from this industry to dictate what's going to happen to the pricing. So for example, fundamental analysis actually works in evaluating individual companies. So whether you're dealing with stocks, whether you're dealing with cryptocurrency, whether it's even foreign exchange, different countries have different currencies. And so studying the economy of each country can let you know how valuable the currencies of these nations are, okay? So when you study the economy, there are no two ways about fundamental analysis. You have to go to the books. It's through the books that you're going to get the wisdom to actually plan ahead. The only way people make a lot from foreign exchange or cryptocurrency is when you're able to make accurate predictions of what's going to happen in the near future, okay? So when we're talking about fundamental analysis, it talks about the intrinsic value that is based on things like revenue. So you have to study the revenue of a country or of a company. You have to study their profit and loss statements, what the capital structure is like, what's their cash flow, and things like that. For those who are in the finance sector, you will really understand the things I'm saying. But for those who aren't in finance, it's not rocket science, okay? There are simple ways for you to begin to make certain predictions that could be in your favor. And before the end of today's session, we will have some form of understanding as regards to that. Okay, so fundamental analysis has three things. You're looking at the economy, you're looking at the industry, you're looking at the company. So I'll give an example. If you're trying to buy stocks of a certain company, maybe Facebook, you have to get the financial statement of Facebook and study it to let you know how well the company is doing, whether they're actually making profit or loss. Now, once you're done with the company, you go into that technological social media industry and see what the competition they have. Maybe they have competition with Google, with TikTok, and any other thing that seeks to compete with them, and see how well they're doing. Then you also have to go to the economy of the countries where Facebook is represented. So for example, in the United States, you'd have to look at the economy of the United States and use that as a benchmark, because investment is a risk. You have to be sure that you're stepping into the right place. You're stepping on concrete ground before you pull all of your weight in it. And that's the fundamental thing about this analysis. It's very simple, but you have to do your homework. Making money is not easy. So you have to really do your work. You have to do your due diligence and make sure things work for you. Now, the other part of the analysis is the technical analysis. So this is for the people who are a bit techy. So when these people study the price charts, they study patterns. They're always looking for trends, okay? So there are issues like triangles, flags, double bottoms. Don't worry, this might seem like big words, but we're going to be touching a couple of them here. So you'd have a brief understanding of how these things really work. So there is a huge difference between technical analysis and fundamental analysis, like I've just mentioned. For technical analysis, you're looking at three important things: the price charts of the currencies, of the stocks, as the case may be. There are certain things which are called indicators. They are the things that let you know where the price is going, whether it's moving up, whether it's moving down, or whether it's stable. We also have certain things which are called oscillators. Now, oscillators are mathematical calculations that have been made into programs that allows you to predict certain things. Okay, it lets you know it's all about probability. Okay, what is the probability that this thing will keep, the price chart will keep going up? What is the probability that the price chart will start coming down? Okay, so these are intense mathematical formulas, but they have been, in the age of artificial intelligence and internet, they've been able to make them easy for you. So you don't have to be the one to do all of those calculations. The oscillators are going to do the calculations for you. And we're going to take a look at some of these things as well. For the fundamental analysis, like I mentioned, you have to look at the company analysis, industry analysis, macroeconomic conditions of the nation, and then posit the future profit outlook of that coin, that company, or that nation. Now, the best bet you can have is to combine these two things. So you combine technical analysis and you combine it with fundamental analysis. It is when you do this that you can actually now have a foolproof vision, a higher sense of probability, a more calculated risks of where the price is going, where the price is going to stay. And so that allows you to make wise investments. There are many people who, because of greed, because of peer pressure, because everybody seems to be doing it, they put all of their money in cryptocurrency. I remember like the rave about cryptocurrency started about last year. That's when everybody started talking about it. And a lot of people who did not even understand the market started putting their house rent into it, started putting their school fees into it, started putting the money they borrowed from people into it. And then the money disappeared and they had no explanation. That's because in the game of the financial market, you don't just use your feelings. You need to use logic as well. Yes, there are sometimes people have gut feelings about a certain time and the prices, work in their favor, but it's not always like that. Okay, you have to make calculated risks. Okay, you can't just guess because you're dealing with money. You're dealing with people's lives. There are different factors that are making sure that the prices move in a certain way. And you can't control all of these things. So the best you can do is to postulate, is to estimate, is to predict based on sound calculations. Okay, so an example with Elon Musk, when he started the SpaceX thing, he had a grand idea of reusable space shuttle. And they did their mathematics, they spent a lot of money into it. It crashed a couple of times. They did their mathematics. But in spite of that, there were still some things they missed along the line because the world does not revolve around you. There are different people, different factors. Something that happens in China can affect someone in Kenya. That is how connected the world is. And so you have to put all of these things into perspective in order to be able to make more accurate predictions of the financial market. So here are the basic differences between technical analysis and fundamental analysis. So when we're talking about technical analysis, you are forecasting price movement, or you are using chart patterns. For fundamental analysis, you're looking at economic data, you're looking at value, price target, so you're doing a lot of theoretical research. Now, for technical analysis, it's all about the charts. Technical analysis is for short-term, medium-term, and long-term. You most times can't use fundamental analysis for short-term because you really don't have all the time to get things right. But if you are thinking of week trading, day trading, then you actually do need technical analysis. Why? Technical analysis can afford you to see by the minute change in price between currencies, between stocks, so you can actually make your calculations based on what you're seeing. Okay, so the skill sets required for technical analysis is chart analysis. Can you analyze the charts? Can you interpret the charts? Can you make sense of the different colors, the different numbers, and the different projections? But for fundamental analysis, it's all about economics. You need to understand economics, you need to understand finance, you need to understand statistical analysis, okay? So these are some of the things you need. Now, with the way things are, it shows that for you to actually be profitable in either foreign exchange or cryptocurrency, you need to be skilled. There's a lot of skill that go into it. There are lots of people who have been studying the market since before you were born. And you can't just come up because you read a book on cryptocurrency and think you're going to outsmart people who have native intelligence in that particular sector. So there are things that you have to go through slowly. Investment most of the time is not a short-term thing. So you have to take things slowly and be willing to go with it step by step. You don't rush it. Greed is what makes you think that you put $1 into something and before the end of the week, you're going to get $1 million. Like, how does that happen? You need to understand that these investments are actually businesses. They are people's lives, they are people's actions, they are people's choices that you are trying to leverage on, okay? So this is the understanding you need to have with regards to foreign exchange, with regards to cryptocurrency, or even stocks. All of these things are connected together. So when we're talking about foreign exchange strategies, the first things first, especially if you are new to this, always try initially with demo accounts. Please, if you've not tested before, you might be cocky, you might have read the book, you think you know how it works. No, you don't, okay? Start with demo accounts, start with demo currencies. That lets you have a feel of what losing money feels like. You can, even with demo money, you still can't feel it the way you feel when you lose your money. You know, I've lost money in investments, you know, and it's one of the things you get to learn. In any form of investment, if you have not lost money, you've not really invested. Because investment really starts when you are able to make decisions under pressure. When you've lost money, when things aren't going the way you can, and you can still be sane enough to make the right decision, that's when you're actually in investment. So there are lots of things that affect foreign exchange. So for example, wars, elections, politics, social issues, lots of factors affect the fundamentals of foreign exchange. So when people are fighting, it affects the economy, obviously. And so the value of such currencies are also affected. For example, Nigeria would be having election in about 2 years' time. So 2022 is going to be an interesting year for foreign exchange because lots of money will be directed towards political engagement, political awareness, and all of that. So you actually have to start thinking about that. You will not really have so much money in circulation for other things because everything will be hoarded for politics. So how do you leverage on that even before that time comes? Okay, so this is how you need to begin to think in terms of investments. Okay, you have to learn to select the markets. What are the currency pairs you want to work with? Choose a currency pair and master it. See it in your sleep. Whenever you close your eyes, start seeing the charts in your mind. That is how to master things. Don't be a jack of all trades, okay? Choose one that you're good with, that has the best chances for you of making profit, and invest your time, invest your energy into learning that, okay? Now, position is also key, okay? So when you're trading in foreign exchange, you must learn to determine how large each position is to control, exactly for the amount of risk that you're going to take. I'll give you an example. So if there is a 10% downturn in the market, someone who invested $100 will have $90. So the person lost $10. That's still fine, you know, that's still okay. But someone who invests $1,000 will lose $100. Someone who invested $1 million will lose $100,000. Okay, so you actually have to think about it. The larger the amount is you're investing or you are trading with, the more money you can make, but also the more money you can lose. So before you start putting big money into investment, start with $10, start with $5, start with $20, and see how you're able to work that. It's consistency that actually builds strategy. So it's from there you begin to know when to enter the market and when to leave the market. Technical analysis can actually help you with a lot of this. You must also understand trends. Know the trends before the news breaks. That is how you leverage on these things. Okay, so these are some of the strategies you actually need to think about with regards to foreign exchange. Now, when it comes to cryptocurrency strategies, the price movement is your life. Okay, you must learn to look at it, study it, predict it, look at the history, the undulating history, the rise and fall. They are called bears and bulls. Okay, the bull is when it's going green, when there's a rise in value. The bear is when it's red, when it's reducing. Okay, so you must understand how these things work and how you can actually use them to your advantage. Now, you also have to learn to use indicators and oscillators. Now, we're going to talk about some of them, but the key thing is different people have different skills. So it's also important for you to find the indicators and the oscillators that work best for you. Okay, the ones you have a higher degree of accuracy with. The moment you have them, stick with them and let them work for you. Okay, don't be a master of everything. Don't be a jack of all trades. Find something that works and build mastery in that line. Okay, so you also need to follow industry leaders. So for those who are in the cryptocurrency space, for a couple of months now, Elon Musk has been a captain of the industry that kind of his tweets can shift, the value of currency. Although that power is already reducing, but it wasn't like that about 5 months ago. When if Elon Musk sneezes, Dogecoin can rise up, and Ethereum could go down. So you must follow industry leaders. Whatever coin, cryptocurrency coin that you're investing in, always make sure you follow the founders of those companies or the captains of those industries, because every information they share will be useful for you in your trade. Okay, and you have to learn to leverage on these things. You need to leverage on communities. Don't be a lone ranger in the cryptocurrency market. The market will consume you. Okay, so you need a network, you need a community, an association of traders that trade signals, that tells you what the market is like, when to pull out, when to plug in. You need that information because you're not omniscient. You can't be everywhere at every time. So when you leverage on communities, you can actually spread yourselves and be able to leverage on information. Okay, so and always calculate your risk. Don't be emotional. Always do the maths and make sure that every choice you're making is actually in your favor. Okay, this is very key and this is very important. So let's move on to that. We don't be too low behind schedule. So let's talk a little bit about technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at some of the things you need to understand with regards to cryptocurrency and some of the things you need to really work with. So here are some of the indicators. I can't go through all of them in good time. Okay, so just if you can take a snapshot, I will also make the slides available so you can always have access to it. But I'm going to talk about a few of them. So one of the important one is called the DCA. It's called the dollar cost averaging. Now, what does this mean? It means that when you're trying to invest in cryptocurrency, you want to buy a coin, don't invest all at once. Do it little by little. Okay, so for example, this is what the DCA looks like. Every point circled in the screen you're seeing, these are the moments when they had to buy coins. And you notice that the coins was increasing in value. Now, there's two lines there. They're called moving averages. We're going to talk about moving averages very soon. When we're talking about that, it helps us to understand the best time to make decisions. Okay, so that is DCA. Invest little before you go shooting up. There's also another analysis which is called double bottom. I'm going to rush through it. So it's called the double bottom because if you can see on the screen, you have two circled bottoms that makes it look like a W. Okay, so when the price went down before it started rising, a lot of people will start investing because the price is going up. No, you have to beat what you call the resistance. Now, the resistance line is that line, that straight line that is drawn at the first zenith. Okay, that's the middle of that W. So when the price went down to the second bottom, you have to wait for it to break that line of resistance before you invest. Because if you don't, you can make a costly mistake, and that's where the stop loss is, okay? Where you put the mark that if it goes anything lower than this, you cash out so that you don't get to lose so much on it. We also have what we call golden cross and death cross. Okay, these are used with the MAs. The MAs are called moving averages, okay? So for the golden cross, I'm going to show you a screen so that you see how it looks like. For the golden cross, that's when the 50 MA crosses the 200 MA. Yes, and the divergent or the death cross is when 50 MA crosses below. So for the golden, the 50 crosses above, so it comes up like what you're seeing on the screen now. The 50 MA is the green line, the 200 MA is the red line. So all the points that are circled on the screen you see are the points of intersection. Every time there's a point of intersection, it means a major decision has to be made, either for buying or for selling or for readjustment. Okay, so moving averages are very good tools that let you know how to leverage on these things. And this is one of my favorites. It's called the RSI. It's called Relative Strength Index. It lets you know when a certain coin is being oversold or is being overbought. Okay, so for example, when there's a point of 0 to 100, let me show you on the screen here. So you see that line below. There's the 70 mark and there's the 30 mark. The moment you notice the price cut across the 70 mark, it means that particular coin is being overbought, and it means that the price is going to drop. That is not the time to buy. That is the time to sell. Now, when it goes lower to less than 30, it means it's being oversold. That means the price is very low, and that means a lot of people are going to peg in, and that means the value is going to increase. And so that is a time to buy. Okay, so you must learn how to interpret all of these things in order to make accurate decisions. So we have AD lines. So AD lines help you to know whether the price is going up or the price is going down. So you can see the line, the red dotted lines. So those are the AD lines. So it lets you know if the price is going up, is sideways, or is down. Okay, all of these things helps you to make better decisions. Now, the core thing about cryptocurrency or even Forex is you have to keep learning. It is still a relatively new market, so a lot of things are still fresh. So there are new informations, new calculations coming in every time, and so your eye must always be in the market. I tried to really rush this thing because cryptocurrency is not something you learn in 30 minutes. A lot of people are still learning it after 5 years. But this is just to give you a brief understanding, calculated in every decision you make. Every decision you make has a calculation. It's an equation that has a result. So when you are solving don't assume what the answer will be. You don't to find out what the answer is. You can now begin to make your choices on it. Okay. So I'm going to be pegging it here. So if you've got questions, concerns, this can be a very great time to ask. I hope I didn't bore you with all of the technical details.
Thank you so much, Kenny. Guys, I just wanted to appreciate Kenny. I think you went from giving us the overview and you went really, really deep, and that was incredible. You know, it takes a lot of mastery to go from telling all the history and then go deeply to the practical, the technical part of it. So I would really appreciate if you guys can just appreciate Kenny. And guys, if you have questions, you can just drop it in the comment section. If you can stop sharing, Kenny, so I can be able to, thank you so much. So guys, you have questions. I want to drop question. I know it's technical in a way, but we can't ignore the imagined way we were going to deal with money. So the way we know money will be different, in the next 2-3 years. Before we were using, like many centuries ago, trade by barter, you can make sense out of that. You can't really rationalize it, how people will trade by barter. It doesn't make sense, practical wise. Now, in the next 5-10 years, it will make sense to trade and to spend money the way we are spending it now. We would be using these digital currencies. And that's why you can't afford to say, maybe it's too technical, it looks a bit confusing, and you don't want to engage. We need to be deliberately and be curious. And that's the essence of Ambidextrous. It's just building that multiple capability, stretching yourself, building that new ability so that you can maximize, imagine opportunities. And Kenny, what I want to ask, why other people drop their question, if you have a question, you can drop it now, is, are there tools? So I heard that bot can trade for you. So actually I bought a bot this last week, and I want the bot to trade for me. So can you speak? I know that I need to master that skill myself. I've done some training, and with your session, I gain more clarity now. And I really need to continue on that continuous learning part. But in the meantime, in the interim, can you speak to how can people leverage maybe artificial intelligence system like bots that can trade? I want you just to speak around bots and how to go around that. Yeah, thanks. Can you see me? Maybe I have to mute. Okay. Just give me a second, guys. Let me try to mute. So you can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So artificial intelligence is actually going to be the future of trading, because what these intelligence is supposed to do, that's AI, is all of the calculations you're supposed to make, all of the logical decisions, they will be the one to make it for you. And because they are machines, they do not have this emotional sides of humans. So AI is the future. However, one of the things I recommend is there are lots of people who have AIs that they're selling now to people, and you wouldn't get the best from it, because everybody is a business person. Everybody is trying to make money. Okay. Some of the AIs that would really do the good job would be very expensive, and only a few people will have access to it. Okay, so those are the things you need to consider. So, but if you have an AI that has been tested and also has consensus behind it, consensus in the sense that there are lots of people who have probably used it and it's working for them. So it's the way you go to either a Google Play Store and you want to download an app. The moment you see that 1 million people have downloaded it, there's this safety you have that, okay, it can't be a useless app. At least 1 million people have downloaded it. That's the same way we're going to have artificial intelligence. But while artificial intelligence is running, there are still some things they will not be able to pick. They work with data. Human beings can see, we can have conversations with ourselves and make deductions based on that. So essentially, the future is a combination of human intelligence and artificial intelligence.
Yeah, so literally, there was no shortcut. You just have to, just like you can't really outsource someone managing your portfolio for you in typical investments, right? Like, I think I saw some question. If you want to ask question, you can just, maybe you can signify, I can unmute you if you want, if you'd like to ask your question. So someone said, please, what are good coins for long-term investment? Because not everyone can do all this analysis, which I totally agree. And yeah, let me allow Kenny to answer. Let me.
Okay, so it depends on what you call a good coin. Now, good coin could mean, are you talking about the market capitalization? Are you talking about the volume? Are you talking about the number of times it changes hands? So these are some of the things you don't just say a coin is good because everybody is using it. There are different coins for different purposes. So there are certain crypto coins that are for gamers. So gamers use it and they make money from it. There are certain cryptocurrencies that are for social media, they are for security. It's just because the most common ones that we know are Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are like the digital gold and digital silver. So if you're looking for gold for now, Bitcoin and Ethereum have a lot of backing and they have a lot of history. And one thing I can say is that they are not going away anytime soon. However, there will be strong contenders coming up in the future that would almost give them a fight for their money. So these are the things that we actually now need to look out for. So Ethereum, Bitcoin, Cardano is doing well. Ripple had a lot of promise, but they are still having a lot of security issues with the United States government. So their value is really dropping as a result of that. The Dogecoin, which a lot of people probably know, it's kind of the people's coin. It has a future, but the future will be backed on people. It's like democracy. Okay, democracy actually works when the people vote in intelligent people. If majority people vote people who are not intelligent, everybody goes down the drain. That's how the Dogecoin is. Okay, so you have to understand that every coin has a personality.
Okay, thank you. I was just saying, don't let them ban this with this conference. I'm just joking.
True.
Now, I have a question here. In the next 4 minutes, guys, we're wrapping this up to keep to time. Yes, we're wrapping it in the next 4 minutes, but I think we should give people the ask question opportunity. Someone said, and I think it's not a question you can answer on this call, Kenny, and it will lead me to the next question. She's saying, at Simi Morgan, she's saying, is it possible to have any training like risk management training? And I think it's so essential, especially in things that are very, very volatile like this. So I know Kenny's YouTube page is just ripped with different kind of information around these things. Kenny does a lot of things that are on the YouTube page. Kenny, I would appreciate if you can just drop your link of your YouTube page and all that social media link in the chat. And thank you so much. You're going to share the slides so people have opportunity to read. And I know they can reach you on your YouTube page because I know you run almost every week or every month. You run a lot of sessions. So it's easy for people to access you on YouTube. Yeah. So I believe, Simi, if you chat Kenny up on YouTube and watch some of his videos around this topic, I believe you get some insight around how you can manage risks. I'm just looking through the comment to pick out that question so that we don't miss obvious question. Thank you so much, Kenny. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the investment of your scale knowledge in this area. I believe it's an evolving space, and we can't just stand aloof and just say, oh, we just want to be watching. We have to participate. And the way to start is just to start, right? Start learning about it. So thanks so much, Kenny. Guys, we're wrapping up, but I want to show you what's going to happen tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to have 2 speakers. And guys, I just want you to appreciate Kenny in the comment section. Can you do it? I can see some comments already. Kenny. So guys, thank you. I just want to appreciate him in the chat session for spending time with us today. So if you can see my screen. So tomorrow we'll be speaking about how can you jump on to, get internship opportunity in the new normal. And I'm actually be speaking to us tomorrow. I promise it's going to be fantastic, session. So you will learn a lot. And if you know someone that needs to make that shift, that person just have to be here, either on this YouTube, on this Zoom call, or on the YouTube or the Facebook, anyone that works for that individual. And after that tomorrow, which also really excites me, after our session, we'll be having how do you kind of capture prestigious scholarships? It's the ridiculous number of people that have closed scholarship in Nigeria to United States and UK and Canada this year is high. It's a ridiculous high number. Why some people just think these things are hard? In fact, people that have, it's not about your grade. It's really understanding the terrain and how you can navigate. And Share will be breaking down that tomorrow. So you can't afford to miss tomorrow's session. And obviously by Wednesdays, we're taking the notch higher. I'll be talking about how to dive into digital marketing and how do you build talents, business around your talent. So guys, that's how we're going to build up this conference, So see you tomorrow at exactly 7 p.m. West African time. Thank you everyone for taking time out to join this call. If you just want you to drop your take away from this call in the in the comment section as we wrap up this call. Thank you so much. And thank you for making my time to join. Enjoy your evening. And anyway you're joining, the afternoon, morning, have a great day. Bye everyone for now. Bye. Thank you everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Abisayo. Thank you, Simi. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Vivian. Have a great day, guys. So we see you tomorrow.